God, creatine is stuck in my throat. All right. It is a gloomy Monday morning. Well, I guess gloomy wouldn't be the right word. It's still nighttime, but it is rainy and cool out. I think the videos I've been editing, I've been getting a little bit closer to kind of releasing them in line with like a more day-to-day schedule. So what does that mean? Means hopefully I'm getting to a point where I'll record a video like this one this morning, and then by the end of the day I can release it on YouTube. Which means instead of watching stuff from a month ago, anyone who is actually watching these, they would likely get a video that was recorded earlier that day. Unfortunately, it means I've been having to try and pump out more like 2 or 3 videos a day just to catch up. So it's not really probably the most effective use of my time, because I don't think people are really interested in watching 3 or 4 back-to-back videos of the same stuff, really. But it is what it is, and I think, as far as I'm concerned, it's kind of the part of the growing pains of this YouTube stuff. I think if you're gonna record it, you might as well release it. So today is a upper body workout day, which always tends to take me a little longer than I planned. So the gym opens in about 10 minutes. So I'm planning on being one of the first ones in there. Obviously, we're not getting anything done until cardio is all spoken for, so that's the first line on the itinerary this morning. What was I going to talk about? I had a couple things. I was trying to pick one. Probably the one thing that, when I'm looking at these thumbnails and stuff I'm releasing is, at the age I'm at, so 36 years old, why am I pursuing like not a second career? I guess you could call it second career, but why am I going back to school? Why am I, doing a career change at 35 and something as big as med school? And really it boils down to I'm not actually pensively in thought. I'm just trying to get into this intersection. There's lots of traffic here. It boils down to wanting to expand your knowledge or expand your scope in something that you see. I don't want to say you see a problem with, but you see an area or you see a gap that you want to improve. And it sounds like a very, interview answer, I guess you could say. Like that's the kind of thing you think a med school would want to hear when you're answering a question. But honestly, I've been doing paramedicine and healthcare for so long now that it's frustrating almost. I don't know why when I say it's frustrating, I always think of the line from, I think it's, what is it, Beer, I can't think of the movie right now. It's the one where they go to the beer chugging competition in Germany. It's frustrating. They have like the little dummy. Anyways, it's frustrating when you're, you study and you do all this thing, like all these courses, or you upgrade so you can go to these patients' homes, try to help them out. And there's so many other gaps in the healthcare system that it almost feels like no matter what you do as like a paramedic, that a lot of these patients aren't going to be able to get better because either they don't have, family doctors, or you bring them to the emergency departments and the waits are so long that some of them deteriorate, or they don't even get seen by doctors there and they just decide to leave. So for me, it's wanting to try and fill gaps and help. Like the community I live in, I want to continue to help them. Like I already work and provide healthcare here at the capacity I'm at. So I think if I'm successful, I would definitely obviously want to stick around here. What does that look like for me going back to school, or how is that going to balance out with like family life and everything right now? It's obviously going to be very busy. I'm not doubting that, but I think right now with the age that my girls are at, if I wait probably even another couple of years, it'll be almost impossible, because I don't want to be going through the whole thing while they're teenagers. Even if I were to get in this year, it'd still be finishing up when they were getting into their teens. So it definitely is. There is, a bit of a ticking clock on this whole thing, but I think for me personally, it's something that I still have a drive to do. That's more than just, a lot of people look at it as like a financial drive, or that's probably the only other big one you could have, other than, I don't even know what other big motivators you would have for that kind of thing. Either you're pursuing it to try and help people that need it in the communities you live in, or you're doing it to try and help yourself. So for me, it's the former. Or else, I wouldn't be trying to put all my life and my wife's life and the girls and Rowan's life on hold. So, but give it the old college try and see what happens, I guess. Anyways, the doors are about to open up. I see everyone's kind of lining up. We're gonna look like a bunch of kids at an amusement park here waiting to get in. So I'm gonna go join the crowd and get in, start the cardio, and get upstairs and get this workout done so we don't run late. Today is a PD day, which means I have everyone at home with me except for Amy. She's stuck going to work, unfortunately for her. We'll be probably I got a couple errands I gotta go run, maybe go to the supplement store and then the grocery store. So maybe we'll catch some of that. Anyways, I'll see you when I get in there next, or whenever we get back to the camera, I guess. Garbage truck was hauling. All right, so upper body day was successful. Exposure still all right? Yes, excellent. So running a bit late as per the usual. When I do this workout, I find I'm always trying to sneak in extra exercises. But I realized once I got in there, we didn't talk about the routine today, so I'll talk about that now real quick. Since I spent the pre-gym time gabbing about why I'm going back to school, or if I think it's going to be a successful venture for me at my age. So today for upper body, pretty much hit everything, obviously above the waist. So we started off with incline bench press on the Smith machine. That felt all right. I think I'm still a little bit sore from my chest day. I guess it would have been, 3 days ago now. Then we went to seated cable presses. That one also felt all right. I had a little bit of a twinge in my shoulder, so I didn't go crazy with it. I didn't want to provoke anything more than I had to. After the chest, we went to back, and for back today, we went with what did I go with today? Oh yeah, the row machine. So the hammer strength or the MTS, like the isolated rowing machine. That one felt pretty good. There's no issues with that. Weight felt good, got enough reps in. And then pullovers. So we went with bilateral, so both arms at the same time. And that's kind of been like probably one of my new favorite exercises. I used to do the independent one, and I find now that I'm doing the bilateral one, I feel like my whole back's engaged, whereas when I was doing just one at a time, I felt like I was kind of cheating them maybe a little too much. So that pretty much is all we did for chest and back. And then we finished off with, I did some lateral raises on the cable machine for some shoulder activation. And what else we do? Bicep curls with the cable machine. We pretty much finished everything else on the cables. So bicep curls, then we did tricep extensions on the cables, and then finished everything off with forearm curls and forearm extensions. All in all, the whole thing took about an hour and a half. I was gonna go hang out in the studio room, get some post-workout discussion video footage in there, but they were just finishing up a virtual class, so I kind of was loitering around a bit, but there's still some people hanging out, so they proved to be they had more perseverance than I did, because I have to get home and tag out with Amy so I can watch the girls and the little guy while she heads off to work. So